All right, guys, we're going to go over how we would go about building an activity in Google Sheets that allows teachers to monitor student progress. So, for the very first thing that we need is we need a master sheet to collect responses. And here we have a master sheet. I have my groups, my students in those groups, or they could be individual students themselves. And I've got the questions I've asked for each student. And look here, I'm seeing some of the responses already. How do we get that? Well, here for group one, I've made a tab titled one, and it's for the student group where they actually, for Sandra, John, and Padlet, where they actually input their responses here. Now, once they have these input their responses, it actually feeds back to the master here. How does that happen? Well, the very first thing that I do is that inside here, I see that I have a function, one exclamation point A2. And how did I do that? Well, very simple. I typed in equals, and then I clicked on one and went to the very first respondent cell, the very first cell under that question, and pressed enter. And now it shows up. So I do that for every single question, and now I can see what they respond to. And a very easy way is once I've input the first one, I just drag it down. So let me, for example, delete all this. I don't have any of the responses. This is empty, empty, empty. But here I have my function. I go ahead and just drag it over once I've got one, and it's set. But notice also the format. My format is the same as the students as well. They only have these 8 boxes to actually collect information, but they only input information in these 4. And I've also put them under a border so it's even clearer. To make it even one step further, we can actually highlight all the rows and go ahead and delete them. So that way there's little opportunity for making any more errors. Now, I do see though that group 2 hasn't done anything. So how do I know that's already the case? Well, each activity in class should be in class for real-time monitoring. So now I can see that they haven't entered anything. And each activity should be paired with a Zoom breakout room. So if I see this, I can immediately jump into that room. So I can first click on the tab. I see they've entered nothing. And then I'm going to go ahead and zoom and actually see what's going on. Now, once I've done that, I also want to make sure that every activity is relatively short in nature to prevent students from being able to wander off and cheat. Now, the very last thing that I want to go over is actually how to make it yourself. So let's say, for example, I already created my layout. 1, I duplicated it, made 2, and I want to make it even easier myself. So I go ahead and press duplicate. Cool, I've made a copy of 2, named that 3. And inside here, I have my format already made. So I go back to my master, and I see I've already made my group 3, but I don't have anything in here. So I'm going to have to press equals, go back to my group 3, click on that first cell. I see it pop up, press enter, and then drag and drop. Now, if I see anything in here, if I input anything there, I should see it on my master. And there it is. Let's make sure we test out the rest. Blah, nah, go. We should see it on the master. Blah, nah, go. Excellent. Now I can see in real time how students are actually working. Excellent.